Okay guys, so here we go for doing the valve clearances on this head. You'll need a couple things. First, you'll need some of these calipers. They just measure your shim thickness, which that's what these are. These are all shims, hot cams. Then you'll need your ratchet and a torque wrench to torque these the proper specs. So I'm just going to show you. Oh, and you also need these feeler gauges. So just flip that out and you see that they got the different, those numbers there tell you how thick those little gauges are. And what you're trying to do is measure a gap under those journals. See that little gap under there? Was it focusing? But yeah, you're measuring that. And that gap has to be within a certain tolerances. And this is the manual. These are the tolerances. So you got your exhaust and your outlet, your inlet and outlet tolerances. And then for those of you who don't know, this is the inlet. This is where your air box is connected. So it sucks in air, goes boom, and then it shoots it out there. So that's exhaust. That's what they're referencing there. So these ones need to be to a certain spec, and then these ones need to be a certain spec. So I've gone ahead and done a couple of these, but I figure I'll do one real quick for you. So we'll do the inlet. So typically what you want to do is go over here and start at the higher value or lower value and then work your way in. I've already gone in and done these. So these are the values I measured. I'll just show you how you do that. So let's do the exhaust left. What's cool about this model, the KX, so you've got it labeled the left side for you. That's kind of cool, huh? So we'll do, we said exhaust left. I measured it to be 35 millimeters. So we'll go to here and find the 35 millimeter. I'm going the wrong way. Well, here's 40. So 40 should not fit. Let's just try that. And this exhaust here, and this was the right side, so that's this side here. So you're just gonna try, yeah, see how it's not wanting to go. So then we'll go to the next one, which is 35. I should have got my tripod out. There's 38. There's 35. There's 35. So here's 35. 35. Onto exhaust. Oh, like this. Oh, no, I said the right side. Yes, yeah, so it's this one. And let's see. There it goes. Slides under there. And then any thicker than that, it's not going to go. So that's how you measure those distances down there. You write those down, and then what you'll do, and I'll show you. You're gonna unscrew these. Maybe I'll do it real quick. Yeah, let me get a tripod. I'll get the tripod out. I'll unscrew these and then show you how you take these out, and then we'll go through it. Okay, so we'll do the exhaust one here. Pull your exhaust cam out. Get yourself a sweet magnet. And right there's the old shim. Oop. Boop. There she be. So this is the exhaust left side. Okay. So take this here, turn it on, zero it out. The shim that's currently in here is 2.23 millimeters. 2.31. So right and left. This was the left side. 2.22 millimeters. Let's measure again. 2.19. These aren't the best calipers. Measure again, 2.19. Okay, so I'm gonna say 2.19. So I'm just over here writing it down. So here's my piece of paper. So these were the feeler gauges, and these are the current shims. And then since we did the left side, 2.19 millimeters. So what you do with that information, you plug it into this equation they have in the manual. So you've got that equation. So B is your measured valve clearance with the feeler gauges. C is the specified valve clearance. And then D is the present shim thickness that's in there. So ours would look like this to calculate for that one. I'll write down the second one. So our measured was 0.55 millimeters minus our specified valve clearance. This is for exhaust. Minus 0.18 millimeters. And then we go plus present thickness, 2.19 millimeters. Okay, so this is what it looked like for our left side of the exhaust. We would do 55, since that's our measured feeler gauge, minus, this is what it needs to be at, the tolerance that the manual gives. And then you're gonna do that first, because they're in the brackets. And then you're gonna add 2.19 because that's the thickness of the current shim, this one back here that we had in there, and that'll give you the new shim thickness we gotta pull from here. So let's do that real quick. Okay, so we need a valve shim of 2.56 millimeters. So let's see what we got in here. Oh, shoot. We don't have one that thick. Let's try this one.
Okay. Hey guys, so day 2 on the kx450 shimming process. If you screen down here, I got my wife on the camera. Say hi.
Hi.
So this is, I finished it, but I'm just going to show you what I did. So I was using my field gauge measurements, and I don't trust these. I got them from Harbor Freight, and the reason why I don't trust them is because I was measuring the shim thicknesses that already have the numbers written on them, and it wasn't giving me accurate readings. So I don't know if you can see that. There's an actual number written on there, and it was off by like 0.15, which when doing this, you need to have those tight tolerances correct. Is it getting it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So anyways, if you don't get the computer, I used the thicknesses that I got from the actual shim heads, but this is that equation that's in the owner's manual. So this is your filler gauge thickness. That's your spec tolerance. I just did an average. So that's like, if you're a little up or a little low, you got some cush. Then that's the thicknesses of the current shim that I just took off the numbers that were written on the shims themselves. And then it spits out what you should put into it. So these I ordered from Rocky Mountain. That's the equation if you want to know. And then the letters are above them. So, and the equations also, if you scan over here on the owner's manual, it's also in here as well. But those are the tolerances, and I think if I scroll down here, we can get that equation. Yeah, there's the equation right there. So it's also in the owner's manual. I just made an Excel sheet. Okay, so just show you that it works. We'll do the exhaust side. So the exhaust tolerance needs to be 0.17, 0.22. So we'll go 0.18. So if 0.18 should slide under there, because I did it a little on the upper end. So top dead center's right there. And it slides. Oh, sorry, that's 0.45 inches. There's 0.18. There's 0.18 millimeters. Slide it under. See how it goes under on both sides here for the exhaust. Okay. And then for the upper limit, 0.23. So it's 0.22. So this shouldn't fit. If this fits, then you've got to do get a thicker shim in there. And it's not going. See how it's stopping? And on this side, it's stopping as well. So on this model, I like KX because it shows you the tightening patterns. If you look right here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But it also shows you your right side and left side. There's a R written for right side of the bike. So if you're putting this together and you're wondering what side's the right, this would be the right, and then your exhaust is here and your intake's here. So we're good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing all put back together and on the bike, and we'll do a startup.